I don't know how to say hi in these, so that's just what I'm going to do. I'm just going to wave. So I honestly had no idea what I was going to do for a video, and I was cleaning out my closet, and when I was cleaning out my closet, I came across all my paranormal equipment, which is right, you know, on the side of me. You just see me take it all out. So I kind of took a break from the paranormal field, but as I was cleaning out my closet, I was kind of like, man, I haven't opened or gone through my equipment in such a long time. The last time I think I had gone through my equipment was when I was doing an investigation in Bristol, Rhode Island, in the old Bristol jail. I've been taking a break from social media too, but I think I have some pictures on my phone. If so, I'll just put pictures up. I'm not sure if I have any video footage left on my phone. But that made me realize that I don't even know what I have for equipment anymore. So you can tell I have a decent amount, but I also make it a habit whenever I'm, you know, out of an investigation that I take out all batteries out of my equipment, all memory cards, everything, just so it's not being stored in there. And I realized I can't remember if I did that or not. And if I didn't do that, that is terrible, because that's also not like me, and I like to take care of my equipment, because equipment can be expensive. Can be. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars just to get paranormal equipment. I thought it would be kind of a fun video idea too, as I go through, that we could kind of see like what a witch brings for a paranormal investigation. And also just to make sure I didn't leave anything in my equipment, and we kind of go through and see what I have together. All right, this is a big pile. Like, that's a lot of stuff, huh? I might have a problem. But yeah, let's go through my paranormal equipment and see what I bring on a case. All right, let's start, I guess, from the top. Just so you know, I had a long day at work. I normally try to pay attention to my Rhode Island accent, and I try and talk in like a happy customer service voice, just because the Rhode Island accent can be kind of grating. It's kind of like a drunk Boston accent. Like someone from Boston went to go visit their friends in New York and then was trying to mimic that accent, but they're drunk. That's the Rhode Island accent. So that's going to be coming out in this video, and I'm apologizing now, but it's been a long day. All right, let's start from the top. All right. This is my REM pod bear. So his name is Remy. He is very, very loud. I hope I didn't leave the batteries in there. If I did, this is going to be very loud. Hold on. I left the batteries in there. My bad. Sorry, that was very, very loud. I'll try to tone down the volume in the editing. But he's super cute. He's not a scare bear. I honestly can't remember where I got him from, but it's like a little Velcro on the back, and the battery pack just sticks to him. And he has a little REM pod built inside. One time for a residential case, he has both my hair and kitty fur on him. There was a stuffed animal that was in a crawl space of an attic, of a completely closed over apartment on the 3rd floor, that these people didn't even know that this whole apartment existed above them. And the person for the residential was asking if they could keep one of the stuffed animals. And when they had said stuffed animals, he could sit up on his own. Remy can. He could sit up on his own. And there's a clip of me somewhere. If I could find it in time, maybe I could put it in here. The camera had shifted, so we didn't know that it wasn't on Remy anymore. But Remy knocked over and he went off, and it scared me so much because it was so loud. It's so loud, especially when the batteries are fresh. Italians coming out, but there's footage of me sitting on the ground being all like calm and collected and explaining everything as we go through. And then Remy falls when they're talking about the stuffed animal. We were just sitting there for like a half hour of no one moving. He just falls over and he just starts screaming, and he wouldn't stop going off, and you see me be like, ah! and I screamed the loudest and I jumped the most. Well, basically, no one else did. Jump scares always get me. I'm always freaking out when it comes to a jump scare. I don't know if that's my Italian side or not, but we always got to be ready. Let's move on, shall we? What do we got next? Oh, we have this thing. Doesn't this look like something right out of Ghostbusters? So this, if you haven't seen one of these before, this is a gas detector. Gas and carbon monoxide. So when you're doing any type of paranormal investigating, you want to make sure you're ruling out all things. You're just not like going for like the thrill of ghosts per se, unless that's what you're doing. But if you're doing like any residential cases, you just don't want to jump in and automatically assume that everything is going to be paranormal because you don't know yet. Gas leaks and carbon monoxide leaks cause these insane feelings of dread, of anxiety, of nausea, of types of hallucinations, auditory as well as visionary hallucinations. They'll also affect animals as well too, and you'll have that presence and sensation that you're being watched. The room that you're in, all of a sudden you'll have that feeling of anxiety, that something's creeping up behind you, that there's pressure on your chest. Your animals might start to act weird and you're like, okay, it's got to be something paranormal because the animals are, reacting to it too. However, sorry, there's still batteries in it because I left batteries in it. See, I left batteries in everything. It is so not like me. However, you want to make sure that you're ruling out dangerous possibilities as well, because you don't want to be like to somebody, oh, this is definitely ghosts, and they're slowly being poisoned by carbon monoxide and they don't have any types of carbon monoxide detectors or a slow gas leak, anything like that. You want to make sure that you're being safe too, which is why I have one of these. That looks so weird, but it's bendable that way. You could like put it farther out or anything like that. It looks like some kind of crazy walkie-talkie. But that's why I personally have this, because I think it's good. That way you have something to be able to tell if could be something else. It doesn't always have to be something that's paranormal, especially if, someone had reached out to you if you were doing a residential case, or even in like really old buildings that no one's been in for like a while. You want to make sure that you're not subjecting yourself, the people there or the people that you're with, to any, noxious fumes. All right, what are we going to pick next? These ones are basic. Noise canceling headphones and an eye mask for the Estes method. This one also has cooling gel beads. That way you could hide the dark circles you're getting from staying up all night investigating. So really, it's like it's a 2-in-1, beauty treatment and sensory deprivation, which, some people go to a spa for, but you could go to a haunted location and get that for free. The only thing that isn't the best about this, I don't know if you could tell, but I have a very tiny head. Like my head, I feel like got like mixed up in some weird stuff in a past life or something like that, and someone tried shrinking it but didn't finish, so it's like almost infant size, which is big for an infant but small for an adult. Is that making sense? Am I making any sense right now? But even on the smallest setting, like this is the smallest, it's very below my ears. It's supposed to fit here. Can you see that gap? Look at that gap. You can see my roots already coming in. I just dyed my hair 3 weeks ago. My hair grows at like the speed of sound. What are we pulling next? This one again, very basic, especially for like cryptid. Well, you don't even have to use this for like cryptid. This is a trail camera, but it's also a motion operated camera. That's not blood, that's rust, because this was in a rusty attic for a month for a residential case. One with Remy falling over, and there was like rusty pipes, so I gotta clean that. Hopefully I did not leave batteries in this. I hope not. And I did. Is it even still on? Oh no, I think actually the last place that I had this was in the Bristol jail, and I left it overnight. I was like, oh man, I haven't gone through these. I still gotta finish going through these. And I gotta take out the batteries. Motion detected trail cam. It has infrared. It records video as well as sound, which is pretty cool. Actually, on that camera, when we had left it upstairs, the family that had built the house for that residential, the mother was a piano teacher. And we didn't know that at the time because we were still like researching the house. And you hear on the trail cam, again, I got to see if I have the clips. But in the attic, randomly, there's just one clip. In a whole month, there's just one clip that we can't figure out because the sound doesn't travel, because we tested it out to make sure that the people on the second floor, their sound wasn't traveling up to the attic closed off third apartment, or like people going outside. We were trying to be loud just to see if anything would travel back and forth. And in one of the clips, you hear this woman singing like, la, like she was singing scales, and she was a piano teacher. Pretty cool. I'm pretty sure you could tell what these are without me even really opening it. But, oh, there's just loose batteries in here. I have different types of ball. I don't know if these still have batteries. Oh yeah, they still do. I don't know how well you can see that. I have multiples of these that roll around. Obviously, the regular cat balls. And then these right here, I don't think they have batteries in them. These are mini REM pod or motion sensors. They just hook up to a D-volt battery. Let's see if any of these D-volts work so I can just show you what it looks like. Alright, so I put a battery in this little copper wire that's extended. When something comes into the field of the copper wire, this battery's like dying, so it's not like the best example. But it lights up blue. I don't know how well you can see it. Can you see it against my thing? Nope. And you're just going to see me groping a wire. Alright, let's see what we got next. Oh, another basic thing. This is a temperature and humidifier reader, just because, again, orbs isn't always dust. Orbs could also be humidity in the air. It's also good so you know what temperature all your equipment is at. That way nothing is overheating, or if it's really cold, you know the batteries are draining, obviously, because it's cold. You know, basic things, but I think it's good to have one of these. Right, the next thing makes me feel really cool for having, because I don't know personally any other paranormal investigators that have one. I know there's got to be paranormal investigators that have these, but my father kind of inspired me to get this. My father is a hunter, so I was thinking this would be useful for cryptid cases as well as any big open area cases, because this also records. But these, my night vision goggles. But seriously, how cool. They record in night vision and they go further than you would with a camera. And if you're in a really dark place, hold on, let's see if I left the batteries in it. Maybe I did. Oh, nope. I did. I left the batteries in there. But these, you could take pictures, you could take video. I don't know how well you'll be able to see because I have the ring light. But this is it in normal color. This is in infrared. So you could use them as regular binoculars, or obviously everything in night vision. Okay, never mind. You can't see it. I'm sorry. I'm just like teasing you, but it's funny. Every time I'm like, you want to use my night vision goggles? Everyone's like, yeah! Oh, yeah, there's the IR light. You view it in here. It's a lot easier. Doing it like this kind of reminds me, like, you know those old picture things where you're like, click, click, click? That's what it makes me think of. Oh, I hit the ring light. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Yeah, for big outdoor investigations in the woods, cryptids, even in big abandoned buildings, that way you can see everything that is around you. Let's keep going. Oh, the pile's getting smaller. We didn't even get to my cases of stuff yet. Actually, I don't even remember what this is. This is like a little surprise present. We're going to find out together. So, oh, okay. This right here measures sound in the air. So this is a sound level meter. So there are certain sounds and frequencies. Things like under 20 hertz is known as the fear frequency. And it's basically too low for your ears to hear, but it causes feelings of like anxiety, paranoia, discomfort on many different levels. Some people it could even cause like frustration and anger and irritation. But this measures the sound that's in a room. Therefore, if you're doing like EVP work, you already kind of have like a baseline for how noisy the room is for background sounds like computers, electronics, generators, just the basic acoustic frequency of a place that you're in. Because if you're in a place where the house settles, or there's a draft, or there's wires, or random cars go by, but you kind of subconsciously get used to that sound. If you're listening to the EVPs, especially if there's like no video footage, it's hard to like be like, that was a car, that was this. So this measures sound. I left the batteries in this one, obviously, but let's see what the sound is right now if we don't say anything. Of course, as soon as I started doing this, the kids outside started playing and being really loud, so I feel like it's picking up on them. And I naturally have a very loud voice. Oh my gosh. Hello, Starshine. The Earth says hello. Oh god, my voice is so loud, I don't want to know anymore. Yeah, little handy dandy tool, I personally think. Again, these are just my opinions, what I like to use, but these are good for like baseline readings and everything else like that. Alright, all this stuff over here. This is a speaker for a spirit box or anything else, like if you're playing animal sounds or music or anything else like that. It's a little portable speaker that's battery operated. All of these are different types of tripods. This one's a little one. Bigger tripod. Biggest tripod. Ugh. And this one is a shoulder mount. These arm things go down. But to fashion a camera on, you carry it around like this. What sucks is because I am so short, I'm like 4'10" or 4'11", I can't remember. I'm under 5 feet. But whenever I'm doing angles or if I'm doing video, all my shots are just up everybody's nose, so I'm not the best at filming. This guy is Boobert. I kind of showed him in my cemetery one. He has a PIR sensor right here. He's literally just a motion detector. But he's a ghost and he's super cute. For motion detectors, again, you could use if somebody's like next to the equipment or if anything goes by it or even if there's animals in the place. This one is surprisingly really sensitive. I wasn't expecting it to be as sensitive as it is because again, it's a Halloween decoration. You know what I mean? But he's actually very sensitive and he goes for like 30 feet, which I was surprised at. But this is what he sounds like. So yeah, I'll bring him sometimes. Not to everyone because he's like the size of like a toddler, but still. Okay, now we got some boxes to go into. This one again is another basic one. These are just regular binoculars. Well, they're actually like high-powered binoculars. They don't look it, but again, pretty good. Again, during the day, wherever you are, cryptid encounters or just in really big places. These don't record. They're just really big binoculars. This is the world's brightest freaking light. This will blind you. I did not realize how bright this light is. But the cool thing with this light, I don't think there's battery life because it is rechargeable. It does show the battery. Let's see. Oh, wow! Okay, I'm not going to blind you with it. But it shows you what... Oh gosh, I'm blinding myself. But you could change the brightness. And not only that, I'm going to lower this, but these are magnetic, and you can change, like, you could put little screens on it. You could even do, like, multiple different ones. Oh, you can't tell. This one's, like, blue and green mixed in. You could even do a red light for, like, some ambiance. I don't want it to be too bright, but I want you to be able to see what it is, but I don't feel like turning off the light. I'm lazy. But this one still has charge. This is rechargeable. Like I said, it is the brightest light. So if you are outside somewhere, like in the dock, I highly recommend this light. It does have a, let me turn this off. It does have a cold shoe attachment to it. That way, if you have any camera pieces or tripod set up, you could just slide it in. It also has another tripod hole right there, that way you could screw in. And this is the Viltox VL162T professional LED light. Seriously, the brightest light. If you need a light for outside, for filming outside, get that one. Seriously, huge, bright, blinding. Wow! Not sponsored. Just putting all my stuff off to the side, so I kind of ran out of room. This is my sad box. So this box is filled with all different types of microphone wires and cables. And I was very, very upset because while I was very excited to have all these different microphones, look how cute like the covers are. They don't work with my cameras. And I have an iPhone, so I have to get an adapter if it was to work for my iPhone. But these were like the little wired mics for direct. That way, if I use a Bluetooth mic or anything, if you're mic'd up during an investigation and you're filming it, so you can hear what everybody's saying, if anybody's whispering or whatnot, I'd rather have the wired in versus the Bluetooth for that purpose. And they only work with like my boyfriend's phone, my friend's phone, basically everyone who has an Android. So if we ever use their phone to film, I have to use those mics only with that, which makes me very upset. Here we have one of my cameras. All my cameras that I have for my investigations are very basic camera. I really hope. Of course, I left the battery. Oh no. But this one is a very basic camera. Handheld. This one I believe is touchscreen. All my cameras, I make sure they have cold shoe attachments. That way I could add different things like RR lights or regular lights or like external microphones. I can't talk now. I had a coffee break in between and now I'm like, hello. Just one camera. All right. These I'm probably going to get made fun of, but these are, hello. These are my walkie-talkies. So these ones are, the only differences with these that these are colorful. My favorite color is purple. So I wanted to have a purple walkie-talkie. But they have 27 different channels and then they have 30 sub-channels to each 27. And they have a decent frequency, but it's always good to have walkie-talkies because if you have your cell phone on or any kind of smart device on you, especially if you're running off of Wi-Fi, you're going to trigger your equipment. You're going to trigger K2s. You can interfere with spirit boxes. Like there's a lot of stuff that you could interfere with if you just don't have your phone on airplane mode. That's why I use walkie-talkies. All right, and then this is one of those mini mag lights, you know, that we leave halfway between on and off to trigger. So these are very unreliable, but I will bring them. I will use them just to see if something can actively use it without it being timed, if that makes any sense. So like direct answers, direct responses with this, you know, I will bring it, but like just to show you how unreliable this is. There's no batteries in it right now because I actually took the batteries out of something. Oh my gosh. The one thing that I want to show you how it works. But I'm going to put this on in the background. We only have like a few more things to go through, but that way you could just see. We're not even talking. We're not even doing anything, but just so you can see how many times that this can go on and off for no reason. What I did is I just got a mirror. That way if it goes off, it'll be easier to see in the background. Hopefully, because then it'll be reflected against the mirror instead of something to have a ring light on. All right. Let's see it out. What else we got? That wasn't even English right there. I am so out of it. This one is a bigger case. Let's see what we got in here. You know, as soon as I could find the zipper for it, even though, you know, it's staring me in the face right here. Holy crap. Kitty just jumped through my... I don't even know if that was on camera. Oh my gosh. My cat's name is Kitty. She was my mom's, and that was the last name she gave her. Poor cat has an identity crisis because my mom called her 5 different names, and she literally just did a circus trip through my arms. Oh my gosh. Woo! Alright, so this, I'm pretty sure... Oh, what? I don't even know if you can see that. I have so much random stuff in here. Oopsie. Flashlight's turning on a little bit. I don't think you can see it. No, you can't see it. Maybe I'll do it facing the camera. I'll just do it facing the camera. With all this camera stuff right here. I forgot I even had this. I guarantee there's no battery in it. My laser grid. I made this. It is so MacGyvered. It's not even funny. I even have like things of electrical tape in here, different like shoe attachments for cameras. I have all different kinds of ones, all different wires, extra memory cards, lens caps, so much stuff in here, which is good. You know, it's always good to have extra. Is this gonna... What? Whoa! Wow, there's still battery. That's surprising. This is just a regular laser grid, and it doesn't go on by itself. You have to manually hold this button. So I had this plastic thing. I can't remember where it came from, but I attached it so you can just slide it over. That way it holds down the button for you. This right here is a shock absorber from a certain microphone that I have that I had an extra piece for, and I attached it to this old tripod, which was for an old pair of binoculars that I had that is extendable. So you can put it on an angle, you can put it in whatever way that you want. And I literally pieced all these together from all these multiple different random things. I can't believe this still has a charge. But this has like, you can adjust. It's a light show, guy. Look at that. That's amazing. But obviously laser grids are really cool, because then if anything walks past it, you know, you could try and see images and stuff like that. But yeah, and then I just have to move a little plastic thing like it's a switch. This I think was like $12. The plastic thing I think came off of like a ring pop or something like that. This came with a microphone, so obviously that could have been expensive. I can't remember because I just had it. And the tripod was from like Kitty Binoculars, and it's all adjustable. But altogether, I made my own laser grid. This part. Oh, this is camera gear. And kitty fur. Apparently Kitty was laying in this beforehand. There's a camera right here. She has a light, microphone, different lenses. This is the other microphone with a little shock absorber. So I put my phone around, so I'm like, where's the camera? But this was the same one that I put on the laser grid. And then another like holder down here, like an L holder. Adapters, you know, just camera gear stuff. All right, now we're into my actual, you know, like cases of stuff, which I don't even really know what's in here right now. Oh, we got a lot on the top layer already. All right, so I have some empath protection grounding oil for my feelings of protection. I didn't make this one, but this one is just so beautiful, and it smells so good. Animal remains wand. Sorry, I didn't know this was in here. Otherwise, I would have put that trigger warning or said something. He has cat fur on it. This is a deer vertebrae with amethyst, moth, and a little bit of hide and whatnot tied onto it for earth, like elements and spirits and things like that. Some ritual things. Sorry. I wish you could smell this through the screen. This smells really good. This is like a little incense blend. You don't need charcoal or anything. You can just burn it as is. Ashes for protection or for like quick circle making. That way, if I'm outside, I'm not putting salt on the ground, because salt isn't good for the ground. And, you know, eggshells, some people could be vegan. So again, I just ashes, they absorb into the ground. And it's easier to make like a circle of protection with them, or put in like certain areas. This, I'm pretty sure, because there's stuff underneath this too. Like there's stuff there. This is like a little notebook that I write down certain things for like paranormal stuff, and the little handbook for the recently deceased. Like paranormal, preternatural, supernatural, common phenomenons, synthesasia, triggering one sense by one another. That's like the first section, so it's like visual effects. And the call effects, visually evoked auditory response or veer. It's like seeing something and there's no actual sound, but your mind will automatically fill in the sound for something like that. A paponeria, pareidolia, obviously. Then there's lunapareidolia, saccadic masking / suppression, or chronostasis, where your brain will automatically block things. It's not like a attention. Oh, what's it called? There's a really good video if you want to realize how many things you miss when you're focusing on one thing. And it's like these people playing basketball. Some are wearing white shirts, some are wearing black shirts, and they're passing a basketball. I won't say the rest. I really hope you guys watch it. It shows you how much you miss of the main things because you're so focusing on one thing. Hypoponic hallucinations, hypnagogic pseudo-hallucinations, Lilliputian hallucinations, shared psychotic disorder, Troxler effect, Caputo effect, like all different psychological things that could be an explanation for the paranormal. Because it's always good, you know, Barnum effect, all that stuff. It's always good to be aware of it. Even if it doesn't hit you right away, it's always good to be aware of it. All right, let's see what we got in here. Oh! This is going to look so weird, right? Cheapest thing of paranormal equipment that you could get. These are motion sensor doorbells. And they work up to 50 feet. You could just put these apart. They don't have to even be facing each other. They could be in different ways. And if anything goes by past it, this is the charm. Well, not like the charm, but the... Do I have it on alarm or chime? Anything that goes past it. Then these are random different lights. I think these are all my infrared lights and everything else like that that are stored in the bottom over here. If you want like a cheap version of a REM pod, obviously it's not going to do like temperature fluctuations or anything else like that. But just get motion sensor doorbells. Super cheap! And it doesn't have to be on the alarm setting either. I have mine on the chime set. And it was like 20 bucks, I think, for that, where a REM pod could be like $220. Last but not least, last case. This is so much random stuff in here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And again, there's a bottom layer to this. Let's see what we got. I have a book in here. I normally have notebooks. What is this? Oh, this is Alec Matzo's book. Oh, she's an author. I have to, girl, if you ever watch this, I know I haven't been on Facebook, but I hope you're doing well. This is her More Than Ghosts, A Guide to Working Residential Cases in the Paranormal Field. I found this book insanely helpful. Like, she has such a way with words. Amazing. I gotta pick up her other book. Alex, if you're watching this, I gotta remind me. You're Woman of the Paranormal. Maybe this was my sign. I gotta pick up that book. But this is a great book. I didn't even know this was in here. I thought this would have been in my bookcase because, like, I have 6 bookcases and it's not in there. Oh, that was a happy little surprise. That's what the book looks like. All right, this is an old dead phone. This has like a backup camera on it. This also has the Ghost Radar Classic app, and like phone apps and whatnot. Like, I don't really. It's whatever, but sometimes it is interesting to see what they have pulled up because this phone has not been used since 2011. So I find it interesting because it was like never used for certain things. One time when I was using it at this cemetery, famous cemetery in Rhode Island, Swan Point Cemetery, and we were by I forgot the name of the mausoleum. I'm going to remember it randomly, but that's right next to the water in Swan Point. And there was a whole bunch of blue jays that came by, and my mom has passed away, and my sign from her are blue jays. And a whole bunch of blue jays came by, and I was like, oh, is someone here? Like, just talking out loud to myself. My mom's name came across the app, and it did it twice in a row, and I thought that was very weird, but I always try to see if it happens again. And it's the only time it's ever happened. But backup camera, backup compass, all that kind of stuff is on here too. Which, speaking of, I don't know where my compass is. I normally keep a regular compass with my stuff because compasses are also affected by magnets. You know, if there's anything that goes off with your EMFs, and not like your compass, you know what I mean? That way you could dissect it that way. Plus, it's always helpful to have a compass, that way you know where the hell you're going. I have a labradorite pendulum. I have so many pendulums, but I have that in here. Then I also have dowsing rods that are shaped like pens, but like these ones are super big. Oh, I get a hug. But yeah, little dowsing rods. They're like so big. They're so big, but they have like little clip-ons, like an actual pen. That way you could be like, hello, we're gonna go check things out. This one is a, sorry, I sneezed. This one is an electronic K2. It has motion sensors. It's very loud. Sorry, apparently something is setting it off. I do have a magnetic bracelet that I use because I get really bad vertigo and motion sickness, but this normally only goes off if it's right on it because the magnets aren't that strong, but I'll show you what it looks like with the K2. Sorry, classic K2, because again, this one makes noise. The other one doesn't. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, it's a mess, kinda. I don't even know if you can see that. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, so we have batteries for another camera. This one is just like a little basic camera. Same as the other one with like a whole bunch of different cold shoe attachments with extra batteries. At least I took the batteries out of something this time, right? Audio recorder. Audio recorder. Audio recorder. I have two evistors. Just a very basic one. Has a long battery life and it's very clear. This one, I forget which brand it is, but this one, the sound in it is terrible. I don't like using this one. Everything is very, very like Darth Vader-y sounding and underwater. I don't like the sound quality of this one. This one is just an emergency in case I need something, because it does still work. It just doesn't sound as good as the Evistor. Very basic brand too, but like it works pretty darn well. It's not like you can hear as much background noise. You could hear enough if there was something to come through for an EVP, but like you're not hearing like outside noise as much. You know what I mean? It's more to the area that you're in. All right, these are the basic K2s. These could be clamped in. It always flashes if you get one. It always flashes right away when you turn it on. Watch. That's normal. Again, I have a magnetic bracelet. I don't know how well you can see it. It's like a very low, unless like you hit something with the K2, this one will go off. Just being next to it. Very, very barely triggers it. I just hit it. Some classic K2 EMF readers. Everyone has. It's also good to check like the electrical work in your area that you're investigating and you're searching with. Again, I use these also with a compass in between. That way I could actually check to see if there was a spike in the magnetic field or not. This is my thermal. I doubt that the battery's still good on this. Yeah, no, battery's dead. But for this camera, it also has a tripod hole. That way you could put it up on a tripod and you can record. This one you could take video as well as pictures. And you know, it's a pretty basic handheld thermal camera. It is definitely not as good as a FLIR or FLIR. FLIR. The big fancy name brand thermal, but this one is a perfect prime. And it still gets the job done. You're still able to see and you're able to go through the different settings. That way you can view the thermal changes more easily. There's like a little microphone in here, like another external microphone for my camera. Again, everything with cold shoe attachments and cat fur complete with everything because Kitty lays on everything. This one is a digital thermometer for base readings. That way you have the temperatures of the areas. You don't want to put these on people though. You don't want to use this as a regular thermometer. Again, this will just show you the baseline for areas that we could do temperature readings. And last but not least, I have a very basic form of a spirit box. When I do my spirit box sessions, I scan reverse in an AM frequency, and I think a lot of people think when you scan in reverse that the actual... My house just knocked. I don't know if you heard that. When you're scanning in reverse, like the AM, it's just doing the channels backwards. So it's starting from the furthest channel that goes all the way up, going backwards. Is not actually playing the sound backwards, and I think a lot of people have that confused. So it's not going to be like playing a Beatles record backwards. But I normally do the AM frequencies from the lowest to the highest, and then I let it scan through 2 times, just so if there's any radio stations, I could keep track of what the radio stations are, what numbers the frequency are, or if anyone's doing the Ask This method, we go through the first time. That way, if there's, again, any radio station, so we automatically know when it's coming up. And that way, if we get confused or we keep thinking and we're projecting what we want to hear, we know that it's the radio station coming through. So at least we could kind of put that out. Just went through my paranormal equipment, and now I gotta put it all back and go through and take the batteries out of everything and all the SD cards. Wait, can you see my shoes on this? Aren't these so... I made these. So these aren't real Converses. These were just cloth canvas shoes at Five Below. And I don't have any yellow Converses, but I like the cell look. I decorate my Converses to look like they're comic books. And I painted these. I'm gonna... dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Aren't they ridiculous looking? I love them. I love them so much. Yes. 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 Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. I know this was kind of a chaotic video. I feel like all my videos are very chaotic. And if you actually enjoyed it, or if you found any of this stuff helpful or cool, please let me know. I would love to know what everybody else brings for like paranormal investigations. Because again, you don't really need anything. This is just stuff that, I have that I like. All you need basically is yourself. I would definitely say bring a notebook and a pen, which I do have, just not over here. It's just like the extra stuff. And I'm sure there's still probably more that fell behind the shelves in my closet that I probably gotta go through. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, I hope you have a good day and good things happen to you. Thanks for watching.